Hey guys, this is Ray for PhoneArena. Today we're doing a video comparison between the HTC One X and the iPhone 4S, which are the two best handsets by the respective companies out there in on the market. The One X is the best that HTC has, and iPhone 4S is the best that Apple has. So of course it depends which handset would be better for you, depends on your personal needs and preferences, but what we're going to do here today is to compare them at a number of important areas, like their designs, how they look, of what materials they're built, their appearance. We're gonna take a look at their user interfaces, the options that they offer to the user. We're gonna compare their cameras and such stuff. So let's not waste any more time and check out which handset proves to be better in terms of design. Right from the start, it is very easily noticeable that there is a big difference when it comes to the dimensions of these handsets. As you can see, the HTC One X is much bigger compared to the iPhone 4S, which is due to the big difference in terms of the size of the screens. As you all know, the iPhone 4S has this 3.5-inch display, whereas the HTC One X has a very big 4.7-inch screen. Of course, both of these things can have their pros and cons. For example, the bigger screen of the One X allows you to watch video more comfortably on this device, but on the other hand, the iPhone 4S, due to its more compact size, is much easier to hold in your hand, and it feels more comfortable because not only because the HTC One X is simply larger, but it's also very wide, and it has these sharp corners here, these sharp edges, which kind of make this device feel very bulky and not very comfortable to hold. We're actually not going to comment on the appearance of these handsets because we believe this to be too subjective, and we'll just leave everyone to decide on their own which design they like more. However, we can comment on their build quality and the materials that have been used. First of all, we would like to mention that both handsets feel very solid when held in the hand. They're both constructed in a great way, but the difference is there that the HTC One X is built from polycarbonate, which is a high quality kind of plastic, although it's still plastic. On the other hand, the iPhone 4S is built from glass for its front and back sides and has the stainless steel band around them. So we actually consider the iPhone 4S to be slightly more premium and better feeling in the hand compared to the polycarbonate build of the HTC One X. In terms of screen quality, both handsets again present us to some wonderful visuals, and both have extremely high pixel densities, even though the One X has an HD resolution, whereas the iPhone 4S has 640 by 960 pixel resolution, but due to its more size, it still presents us to a slightly higher pixel density. However, we actually prefer the display of the HTC One X because, of course, because it's bigger, and it actually has the better color reproduction. It manages to create somewhat more saturated colors, and overall the whole image on this LCD, Super LCD 2 panel is somewhat livelier. It's a bit more pleasant to look at compared to what we have on the iPhone's IPS screen. Call quality with both devices is about equal. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. Voices coming through the earpiece of the HTC One X sound better, they're clearer and more natural sounding. On the other hand, though, the iPhone's earpiece sounds louder, so if you're talking a lot in some noisier situations, the iPhone would actually perform better. But on the other hand, if you don't happen to find yourself in so many of those noisy environments, the HTC One X will most probably deliver a better overall sound quality through its speaker. When it comes to the software running on the HTC One X and the iPhone 4S, there are some fundamental differences between their platforms. On one hand, we have Android 4 running on the One X, covered with the new HTC Sense 4 user interface, and on the other hand we have iOS 5 on the iPhone 4S. So the main difference between these two platforms is that with the iPhone you get a very simple and very straightforward software experience, so it's very easy to use and easy to learn this type of operating system, where everything is just this 4x4 grid of applications, and there are no widgets here, no some advanced home screen functionality whatsoever. They're just application shortcuts here, very easy to use. On the other hand, we have a more advanced, more complicated software experience with the HTC One X, where we not only have icon shortcuts, but we can only have these widgets here, like this weather clock widget, which allows you, which grants you with some additional functionality right from the home screen. For example, you can see the clock, the weather outside, the temperature, along with your application shortcuts, of course. And there are all kinds of these widgets. Here's a social networking widget, the special weather forecast widget, and there are these nice 3D effects to all of these widgets. So this thing really looks very nice. We have this music player widget here, which lets you control the playback settings, shows you an album art cover for the currently played song. So this is the main difference between these two interfaces. Here you have advanced functionality and more information on your home screen thanks to all of these widgets, while on the iPhone 4S you simply have your application shortcuts, which may be a bit boring compared to what we have on the One X, but it's definitely the easier one to use. Another differentiating factor is called personalization, and of course with HTC's One X and Sense user interface on top, you have this personalized application which lets you choose a very different appearance for the interface that is running here. You have these scenes, you can choose different skins, which basically change the color, the graphical elements of the interface, altering how your device looks greatly. On the other hand, with the iPhone 4S, you can simply switch your home screen wallpaper, and that's that. The on-screen QWERTY keyboards are a very important aspect of every contemporary phone, because we all type a lot of texts and emails on our smartphones. And to tell you the truth, typing experience on both the HTC One X and the Apple iPhone 4S is about the same. Even though the One X has this much bigger screen and physically much bigger keyboard, however, the iPhone 4S actually makes up for it by having a better keyboard design. As you can see, the keys are more separated from each other, whereas here we have very little space between the keys. And here the coloring also works to let you quickly distinguish one key from another, whereas here everything kind of easily blends together because the background is also of a pretty similar color to the keys themselves. Let's take a look at the landscape QWERTY keyboards. Of course, the One X's keyboard is much bigger due to the 4.7-inch screen size, although it doesn't really take up the whole screen real estate because we have these arrow keys here. Anyways, making up for this, the iPhone, again, as we said, has better design overall, so you'll be able to type pretty quickly with both handsets, and neither of them really works better than the other, so we actually call this one a tie. Both devices feature terrific calendar applications. On one hand, with the HTC One X, you have this pinch zooming gesture, which lets you easily see more details in your appointments. On the other hand, you cannot simply tap and move your appointment around, whereas on the iPhone you can just hold it down and place it wherever you like. Furthermore, we find it strange that there isn't a week view in the calendar of the One X. With the iPhone there is no option here, but when we turn the day view to landscape, here is our week view, and with the One X there simply isn't such a view. We actually like the web browser of the iPhone 4S more compared to the browser of the HTC One X, because what we have here on the One X is a bit glitchy, not very consistent, and can be very slow at times and also buggy. Whereas on the other hand, with the iPhone 4S we have very smooth and flawless performance. No matter what we do, it's very fast and bug-free. On the downside of it, the iPhone 4S does not support the flash player, whereas with the HTC One X you can observe every flash element that's found on the website. Both phones feature great cameras, but we actually like the camera interface of the One X a bit more because it simply allows us to take an image or start shooting a video from the same screen, and we no longer have to switch between still and video mode. If you want to take a picture with this phone, you just tap the shutter key. If you want to start recording a video, you tap the video recording button, whereas with the iPhone 4S you have to switch between video and photo mode and then use the camera shutter. In addition, the One X features more settings here which allow you to tweak the photos and videos that you're going to take, and there's quite a nice set of options here with the One X. Now, when it comes to the actual photo quality with these devices, the One X actually isn't that good, although it should have been because of its image sense camera. But still, we found the results that we achieved with this device not as good as what we could get from the iPhone 4S, where we observed better colors overall, because the colors of the One X had this purple hue to them and were actually more dull looking compared to what we got from the iPhone 4S. When it comes to details, the iPhone was once again the better handset, as it clearly captured more fine details with its 8 megapixel camera than what we could get from the One X. When it comes to video recording, we actually think that the One X produces the better image quality, so the video looks better, but where it falters is in the frame rate department, because it shoots at a frame rate of only 22 or 23, somewhere there. which is nowhere as fluid as what we have on the iPhones on the iPhone, and it's 30 frames per second in its video, and which still looks pretty good. So overall, we prefer the iPhone 4S if we're to shoot a lot of pictures and video with our handset. The HTC One X is a great device to watch video on, and much better compared to the iPhone 4S because of its larger display, but also more saturated and vivid looking color. So if you watch a lot of video with your phone, or play a lot of games, or consume this kind of multimedia which requires a bigger screen and more livelier colors, then the One X is clearly the winner in this respect. All in all, we can conclude that both handsets are very different, and of course design, it is something subjective, although as we've come to see, both handsets feature very good materials, although slightly better on the iPhone. The iPhone is also more comfortable to hold in your hand due to its smaller dimensions. On the other hand, the HTC One X actually has the better screen with those punchier colors compared to what we have on the iPhone 4S. The camera, another important aspect of these smartphones, is where the iPhone 4S excels, even though HTC made such a big deal out of its new ImageSense camera. Still, the iPhone continues to produce better looking photos and videos overall. If we have to directly compare the software that's found on both these phones, the One X and the iPhone 4S, we'll actually put it this way. If our lives depended on the software of one of these devices, we'll choose this to be the iPhone 4S. Because it's more polished, stable and glitch-free compared to what we have on the One X with its ICS build and Sense user interface on top. However, if you enjoy tinkering a lot with your smartphone and kind of treat it like it's your PC, then the Android-powered One X would be the better choice because of its open OS, which allows you to do more stuff with it. But for now, if we have to pick an overall winner, we'll most probably choose the iPhone 4S due to its more polished nature. This was our video comparison between the HTC One X and the iPhone 4S here at PhoneArena, and if you'd like to learn more about these two awesome handsets, you can always check us out at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.